tell us what inspired you to do this research?
I've been looking at this transition from traditional industries to platform industries for a while. I even wrote the case of Nokia back in the time, you know, how they actually suffer with this transition from traditional products to platforms. This all started when I actually had to, you know, invest in my own house and started buying these smart devices, and I was thinking, wow, this is a really interesting phenomenon that is not unlike what I saw in Nokia, because basically all of these companies that used to be standalone product offerings now have to think very carefully whether they want to continue to be standalone products or they want to join a platform. Newcomers have really changed the industry, and now more and more, most of the devices are actually being you know, they join one or more platforms. So what is interesting about the research is that, you know, the way we conceptualize this is really that it's about timing of entry. You know, when do you enter both the platform world if you were just a traditional incumbent, and then once you enter the platform, you know, by joining one platform, what do you make? How do you make decisions about the timing of entry into other platforms, which we call multi-homing?
In your context, what would be an example of a complementer and a platform in this context?
Right. That's a good question. So for instance, you know, let's take thermostats. Okay, so Honeywell was the traditional company selling thermostats in the U.S. Thermostats for houses were basically something that you would put there. It was connected to a wire. And actually will speak with your, you know, senses the temperature and will speak with your boiler. Basically, will connect to your boiler. What happens today is that, you know, Honeywell got surprised by other newcomers like Nest and Ecobee, and which are companies that are now associated to platforms. They have not only their own app to control the temperature, but also they talk to the platform, and therefore you can actually operate them through, say, for instance, you know, an Alexa or a Google speaker, and that actually became very challenging for Honeywell. If you actually look at Honeywell 5 years ago, they were the #1 thermostat in the U.S.
Yeah.
If you look at today, they're not even in the top 3.
So it's the decision that a lighting company makes whether to join Alexa, for example.
Yes, or Nest, or Wink. Or smart things. Yeah, there are several platforms in the space. In a way, it's a little bit of a gamble if you enter early. If you're a thermostat producer, which of these platforms you join, and joining all of them is not cost-free. So you have to make decisions at least of which one will you join first. When the industries are changing very rapidly, it typically is not a good idea to enter early. I mean, a lot of the companies that we know as first movers, I mean, like in common wisdom, like, you know, Facebook or Google, they have not been first movers. What our research says is that if you're going to enter early one of these platform-mediated industries in this emerging state, you should multi-home fast.
Right.
The idea is that if you multi-home fast, then actually that will lower your chances of having a negative performance effect.